Okay, so I'm basically a sidereal astrologer. I really started with Eastern Jyotish. A little interested in peeking into Chinese eventually, but I haven't looked into Chinese astrology or beliefs that much. So, but lately I've been getting more interested in tropical, and the reason why is because I've been starting to feel like well, I read that sidereal is more karmic and like large patterns, and tropical is more immediate and psychological. Um, I can see psychological stuff through sidereal. That's been why I've sort of hesitated to look into tropical because I just didn't see a use for it. Um, but I've started messing with tropical to see if I can get some of those more immediate gains through tropical. Um, I still think sidereal is king, Chitrapaksha, um, and a lot of people don't know it. But you know, yeah, it's. I have been thinking about using tropical though to some effect. I just think that it has a particular place. It's almost more like a particular tool than sort of sidereal. Sidereal can really get you very far very quickly. It may also be that tropical is important for ceremonial magic. Um, I don't know if it maybe has something to do with the earth or the sun or what, but so I'm going to be looking on in those avenues. I kind of totally wrote off tropical astrology in the past. Um, for sure, sidereal is more powerful, but yeah, it's an interesting harmonization, like of the two systems. An interesting, to have both talking to each other because, like, in my sidereal chart, um, I have like Moon in Aries, and I have some other planets in Aries, and that makes me come off very fierce about certain things. But then if we look at tropical, those planets are in Taurus, and let's see, Venus is in Virgo, so those planets aren't really channeling that fierce energy. The what is it? I think it's that tropical is explained through I have Mars and Scorpio, and so then just in my actions and just as I am in life, that Scorpio energy is coming through. So I think it's interesting how basically everything is moved one house in tropical, and so then it's like a lot more energies that you can look at. I still have a lot of thinking to do about it because I think through, the signs are still the signs, and they're not really different from system to system. The planetary, one thing I've noticed is that using Chitrapaksha, using sidereal, the Vedic deities open up to me, and I can really connect through that. But through tropical, I feel a lot more Western, like Greek deities waking up, or I was gonna say waking up to me. That's basically what it is, really. Um, so yeah, it's an interesting kind of what's the word? Distinction between the two systems. I'm not sure exactly what it all means yet, so I have some work to do. It's also quite slow because there's no reason for me to just flip flop. It's not like I'm just going to switch systems. That's not really a good idea. I had some idea like maybe I'd do that, but I think Jyotish or tropical, I just don't see myself in it yet that much. It feels like a wobbly reflection. So I think it's going to take some time for me to realize exactly how it's useful. Of course, I can look at it and I can read into it, and for example, having planets in Taurus, I suppose in some ways I'm fairly practical and stable. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't really looked into searched my inner self for Taurus as an energy. So I'm just really behind on tropical, which of course isn't that big of a deal. Especially, I would say conjunctions are more powerful than conjunctions are more powerful than a lot of other things in this chart, because okay, what house something is in is really powerful, but that the aspects, and especially the conjunctions, like you could just know conjunctions and that would tell you a ton about a person. I think conjunctions are probably the most foolproof thing, because a lot of other things can be recontextualized a lot. Conjunctions, they could be recontextualized, but like I think that's probably, if someone were to like want to start learning astrology, maybe understanding conjunctions and looking at different people by their conjunctions would be, I think, maybe one of the most straightforward ways to begin. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having a simple view of it on some of these things. I mean, as long as it's not the wrong view. But I mean, with occult stuff, you're always like in the process of being less wrong. So in that sense, it can be quite scientific. Not that there's like a bunch of facts per se, but you it's more like if you take science and you replace like facts for your own experiences and the experiences of others, other occultists and whatnot, then it kind of feels the same. It's hence why a lot of people will talk about the occult sciences or spiritual sciences. It more or less works. And a lot of this stuff is pretty repeatable, actually. But anyways,